Okay guys, I really debated on how to approach this topic, what to title this video, because on one hand I do want to talk about this, the money side of YouTube, because I feel like it's a side of YouTube that's not really talked about much, and there are aspiring content creators or creators who are coming up and don't really know exactly how to make a career of what they are currently doing, which is creating content. And I don't know, no one is really willing to just talk about it and say, look, this is how much you could possibly make creating content, and this is how to go about it. At the same time though, I don't want to come off as if I'm boasting about my success. I don't want you guys to get the impression that I'm boasting or I'm bragging about it. Honestly, all my success, however little or however big you might think it is all because of God. Of course, I've put in the work, but at the end of the day, all glory goes to God, because honestly, the only reason why I'm here is because of Him. So I want to use my platform to be able to uplift other content creators and empower them to also be able to know how to go about this whole content creation thing. So I'm gonna share my story, how I got here, and then how I left my 9 to 5, because that's basically also something big, and how I managed to really make a living out of this. Now, I asked you guys on Instagram around how much you think an influencer makes every month, and I realized that people have no idea, including content creators. Some people are saying 5K, guys. People are doing this full time. You can't do this full time to take home 5K, aka 5K. It's not 5K, that's definitely for sure, and I'll get into that soon. But first, I am going to kind of tell you guys my story, which I think by now you more or less already know, which is that I left uni last year. I started my channel in January last year. Actually, the first video I ever put up on YouTube, I put it up on the 5th of January 2017. So I've been doing this for a little bit over a year and a half, and I was in uni at the time, and I left uni in around March, started looking for a job because it was the next thing to do. You know, you finish uni, you get a job. That's just how life is. So I was also looking for a job. I looked for a job for about 2 months. It was quite frustrating. These streets out here, it's not easy to find a job, but eventually I did find a job. And when I was in that job, I just made the realization that this 9 to 5, 8 to 5, actually in that job it was 9 to 6. It's not something that's for me, and it's not even at the work environment was bad or anything. The colleagues, the people were really welcoming. The work was good. It was in marketing, which is something I love marketing, but I just didn't want to. That was just not the life for me. I don't know how to better put it. I just didn't want to wake up every single day to go and work so hard to put money in someone else's pocket. I also didn't feel like I was having an impact in society by being in that job, or being in any other job for that matter. I didn't feel like I was making a direct impact on someone, and I really wanted that. And I don't know, guys, that just the whole reality of it scared me so much. It scared me so much. You know, the fact that every single day you have to get up and go to work. You get 21 days of leave if you're lucky. And I couldn't see. I mean, that's a whole life dedicated to working for someone else. And I'm not trying to make anyone who is in employment feel, but I'm telling you, there are people who really thrive in employment. They really thrive. They get so much fulfillment out of it. But then there are also some people who, I don't know, it's not their thing, and I'm one of those people. So after a very short time on this job, I decided to just resign. So I left my job. I had my channel. I think I resigned at the time when I resigned. I think I had just hit 500 subscribers, and I was over the moon about it. I was so excited. I was not making a cent from my channel, not even a cent. And over and above that, I didn't even know how I was going to go about it. I didn't know that you can actually make money from it. I had no idea. But I was like, you know what, I'd rather dedicate my time to this. I'll figure it out along the way, even if right now I am at exactly 0 shillings. But the alternative is this job, and you know, once you get into it, you're into it. It becomes so hard to leave a job when you've been at it for a long time. And the job was well paid. Well, I was going to be on probation for about 3 months, and then after that they were going to really increase my salary. Like, I'd have been making something good, you know, something good. But I left, and I think up to this point, it is one of the best decisions I have ever made. I think somehow when you put out something into the universe, you get it back. I'm a big believer in that. In put out positive vibes, you get back positive vibes, you know. Dedicate all your time and energy to one thing and burn your bridges, and somehow the universe is just like, oh, okay, she's serious or he's serious, and then things kind of just start working out. So that's, I mean, when I left my job, things kind of just really started to pick up, and my channel began to grow. But I think that was in about probably May. So from May up to, I think I made my first any money on YouTube about 7, I think I made my first cent from YouTube in August, and I started in January. So that was 7 or actually 8 months in is when I made my first cent, and I made the money from YouTube. So YouTube, you can put ads on your YouTube videos, and then companies place their ads on your videos, and then you earn some revenue. And at the time when I left my job, I thought that was the only way to make money. And the first, because I opened my AdSense account very early, Google AdSense, that's how you earn money. I opened it so early, and I would keep checking all the time, and I was literally not moving. Today it was, because it's usually in dollars, well, that's how I've set my account up, and I would keep on going in and checking, and I see, oh, okay, I've just made $1 this whole entire month. Doing 2 videos every single week, I have made $1, but I would still celebrate that, honestly, because it's $1 that I didn't have. And in August, after having my Google AdSense account for months, I finally reached the threshold, which was, for me, was about $100, about 10,000. So I made my first 10,000 bob through YouTube, and I thought that that is the only way to make money. This is last year, you guys. This is just last year, and I thought this is the only way to make money. That's what I thought. I was really putting in the effort. I was really putting in the work. Before I quit my job, I was doing 1 video every week. After I quit my job, I started doing 2 videos a week, because I figured this is what I'm now doing full time. So I can't put out the same number of videos that my counterparts on YouTube who have school or who have work are putting out. So I said, no, let me do 2 videos a week. And after I made that 10K, quite frankly, I was like, what? Okay, on one hand, I was quite encouraged, but on the other hand, I thought, if this is it, this is very little money. And it wasn't even consistent, because once I made that first 10K, I didn't make another 10K on YouTube until about 2 months later. So it was an income that was coming in 2 to 3. It was very irregular. Luckily, I still stay with my parents, but I didn't have any bills, which was a big factor actually that made me quit my job. I said, look here, Joanna, look, I talked talked to myself and I said, look here, Joanna, you have no kids, you have no bills, you have no responsibilities. If you're going to leave a job and do something that at the moment isn't paying you any money, this is precisely the time for you to do that. Anyway, fast forward, I finally learned or got to know how content creators make money. And I think I've shared this before. I sat on a panel with Nancy Mwai, and she sat me down and she told me everything, this is it. She gave me really amazing pointers and pointed me in the right direction. So one of the things she told me is, first of all, the people with the money do not know who you are. They have no idea who you are. So these brands that you're sitting back and waiting to approach you and work with you, they don't even know that you exist. They don't even know you exist. So you can't sit back and wait for a brand to approach you. You have to be really proactive in going out there and finding the brands, And I remember just being so inspired. She told me how she was she used to send out so many proposals every single week, and I was like, yes. So that was, I think, last year in August, and since then I just set myself a target of approaching and pitching myself to at least 5 brands every day. It was really hard because I would send maybe about 15 to 20 introductions every single week or proposals, and out of those maybe I would get 2 responses, and out of those 2 responses, 2 of them were saying we're good. 2 of them. So I was basically not getting anything, and then things started picking up towards the end of last year. So I started some of the proposals I sent out, I managed to work with a few brands from there. I started learning how to actually price myself, because at the beginning I felt like the brands were doing me such a huge favor by working with me. So I was probably grossly undercharging. In fact, I did a bit of free work here and there. But you know what? I think I should make a whole separate video on just the making of money on YouTube, how to approach brands. Thumbs up if you want to see a video like that. But anyway, fast forward to today, I have managed to work with brands I think I could only have dreamed of working with. Huge brands, international brands, local brands that I love, and I have used their products for years, and it has been amazing. I feel like once you actually dedicate your time and effort into something and burn your bridges, I'm not telling you to quit your job, juggle until it's actually making you some money. But that for me is when I had no other alternative, that's when things started looking up for me. And now things are good. Let me tell you guys, those people who are saying influencers make 5K, influencer marketing is the new way of advertising. Okay, people are not looking at traditional media anymore. People are not watching the ads on TV. Okay, people stream, you stream your movies or your shows online. People are not looking at billboards. If you enter a mart, no one is looking outside the window and looking at the billboards. Everyone is on their phone. Okay, so online ads are the way to go. And then on top of that, using an influencer to push your product, because people trust. There's so many things I have bought. Actually, most of my purchases, or when I go to get a service done, is because I saw an influencer online, someone who I trust, using that product and liking that product. So it's the new thing, the new way of advertising. So up to this point, since I began, I have definitely managed to make way more than I would have made in employment had I stayed in the job. I have managed to really make way more, and other influencers are really making a killing. One of them, I won't even say who they are, just managed to buy a car with her YouTube shmoney, or his YouTube shmoney. Yeah. So there's definitely money to be made. And actually, let me share with you, because I don't want this to just be about my story and yada yada yada. So I want to share with you guys, because you can be an influencer and you're not making money. Sometimes it's not about just being an influencer. There's more to it than that. And the first thing for me is personal development. You have to really be invested in yourself in terms of your personal development journey. I have notes here, guys. That's what I am reading. If you want to be successful, you have to study what successful people have done and then do what those successful people have done. So recently I was listening to a podcast by one of my favorite motivational speakers of all time. He's called Brian Tracy, and it just basically sums up where I've reached in my personal development journey, because to me, personal development is everything. If you're not personally growing, then you can't grow financially, you can't grow spiritually, you can't grow professionally. So you really have to take time to grow yourself. So in this podcast, what Brian Tracy was saying is, first of all, for you to be successful, you have to study what successful people in your field and successful people overall have done, and then do that. Like, there's actually a formula for you to be successful. If you do what successful people do, chances are you will also end up being successful. So some of the things I was talking about were self-discipline, very important. That's something I've really had to learn. Just at the beginning of this year, I didn't have a daily routine. I would wake up anytime. My natural alarm clock was one that used to wake me up. So could be 11, could be midday, could be 9 a.m., whatever. And I used to sleep at any ungodly hour and not even doing anything productive, just doing nonsense. So at this point now, I'm at a place where I wake up at 6 a.m. every single day. I know what I'm doing during the day, and I sleep at a specific time for me to be able to wake up early. Like I said, I was not always here. Just at the beginning of this year, I wasn't doing this. And also in terms of personal development, guys, I have read more books this year than I've read in my entire life combined. First of all, I don't think I had ever read a personal development book before this year, 2018. I had never read a personal development book. And this year is when I started listening to the podcasts and the motivational talks, and then I really tried to read a personal development book every single week, just because it's one of the things successful people do. And you really, when you're personally improving, like I said, it influences other areas of your life. The second thing is hard work. I think that one is quite self-explanatory. The other thing that successful people do is that they know their goals. They know their goals, they have them written down somewhere, and they review them constantly. If you don't know where you're going, then anything goes. So goals, and again, I also didn't have, like, I knew, I was like, okay, I want to be rich. Yeah, everyone wants to be rich. I want to be a millionaire. I want to drive this car. I want to do this. I want to do this. But I had never written down any of my goals or anything like that. And I hadn't even made a plan of action. I was like, yeah, I want to be rich, but how are you gonna get rich? I couldn't answer that question. So yeah, it's also about goal setting. And then also, you have to do things others won't do. You have to become someone different for you to achieve different things. Again, one of my favorite motivational speakers, another one, he's called Les Brown. He says that when you have a goal in mind, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, who do I need to become in order to achieve that goal, rather than asking yourself, what do I need to do? So you say, I want to be a millionaire. What do you need to do? You need to maybe start a business, become an entrepreneur. Fine, that's all well and good, but you also have to ask yourself, who do I need to become? What character traits does an entrepreneur have? What character do I need to wake up earlier, stay later than everyone else? Who do I need to become? So yeah, that's where personal development comes in quite a bit. But another huge part of it is managing your money. Now, before I go on, I have to give a big shout out to CBA Loop for sponsoring this video. From CBA Loop is an app that I truly believe in. I don't even know how else I can put it. I truly believe in this app. Now, I've developed very bad money management habits over the years, and this year has really been a year of me unlearning and relearning, and I'm still in that process. I'm still in that process of trying to learn how to effectively manage my money. So a couple of months ago, I started using Loop, and I haven't looked back. The thing with CBA Loop is that it's a money management app. So it helps you manage your money, but it's also your bank, which I think is so good, because sometimes you can have your money management app and you have your budgeting features, but your money is not there. So at the end of the day, your money is here in your pocket or in another bank account. You may or may not stick to the budget, but either way, the app can't hold you accountable because it doesn't actually know where your money is going. But CBA Loop, your money is there, and then you're managing your money from there. So first of all, of course, the biggest thing I've had to learn is that you have to spend less than you earn. And gosh, sometimes I'm telling you, this social media lifestyle, this lifestyle that everyone wants to have and put online, sometimes that wanting to have that lifestyle can really be your downfall, because I don't know, you end up spending more than you're even earning just to impress people who really honestly could care less whether or not you post on your Instagram story, And then the next thing is save. Again, I'm going to be very honest, I have not ever saved in, how do I put this? I have not saved. I've not really been a saver. I've never been a saver. I don't know, it's just not a habit that I cultivated. And I think I saved, I would save maybe during the weekend. I'm going somewhere, I'll be like, oh, okay, let me save. But I've never actually had savings that I've put aside. And this app has really come in handy for me, guys. Sometimes it's wise, not sometimes, it's always wise for you to, rather than just save your money and put it somewhere where it's not growing, is to invest it. But if you're as investment illiterate as me, you don't know what investments are good, where to put your money, well, CBA Loop actually has the option of investing your money for you. So you lock in your savings there and they invest that money for you, which for me I felt was really good. So once I have the money I'm saving every month, I invest it through my Loop app, and boom, it's like I lock it in there and it grows. The other thing which I think I've talked about on my Instagram that I love is the Loop goals. So you're able to set saving targets for yourself depending on what you're saving for. There are different categories. There's even a category for vacation. If you're trying to save for vacation, you can input how much your vacation is going to cost, and then the app knows how much you're getting into your account every month, so they can tell you, okay, between now and the vacation time, this is how much you need to save every single month. And then they cut your money for you, so the money doesn't actually come into your hand. So they cut it and put it away for you, for whatever you could be saving for, a car, a house, whatever it is, it's put aside. I think what really makes this a money management app is two things. One is the budgeting feature, and two is the analysis feature. So the analysis feature basically helps you know where each and every cent of your money is going, because every time you make a payment, anytime, it always asks you what it's for. So there are tons of categories: eating out, taxi, whatever it is. So before you make that payment, you have to input what it's for, and then you're able to get an analysis of how much you've spent and exactly where each thing has gone. And sometimes it's important to know like exactly where your money is going, because you may not know, you may actually not know where your money is going. Like for me, when I started analyzing, I realized I spent way too much money on food of all things. I spend so much money on food. I'll eat out when I don't need to eat out, or I'll just buy very unnecessary food. Cocktails. You order one cocktail, you want another and another and another. So yeah, that helped me be able to like check myself and be like, nah, you can't be spending so much money on food. And then for the other feature, which is the budgeting feature, it allows you to set budgets for different categories. So if it's rent, you have your monthly budget. If it's your DSTV, you have your budget. If it's your water bill, your electricity bill, your fuel, how much you plan to spend on entertainment, eating out, very many different categories for you to input your budget. And then the best part is when you're close to reaching your limit, it actually sends you a notification to tell you, slow down sis, slow down. So you're able to know when you're about to reach your limit for you to check yourself. And I think that's it for this video. I think what I'm going to do is do a whole separate video, especially for content creators, on how to work with brands, how to approach brands, how to price yourself, how to come up with a rate card, things like that. I've only been doing this for, let's even say, less than a year, so I'm not perfect at it, but I'm happy to share what I currently already know. Yeah. So anyway, I hope this has inspired you in case you are planning on leaving your 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or 9 to 6, whatever it is. I hope this has inspired you to just take the leap and just go for it, because sometimes you just know that you're not meant to be in that job. You just know, and you're meant to start this business. It just feels right, and it doesn't feel like work to you. You're excited to do it. I think ultimately the goal when it comes to work is that you should look forward to getting up every single morning, because your work is exciting. Your work is exciting to you. So leave your tips also for anyone who wants to leave their 9 to 5 and you've done it. Tell us your stories, give us your tips and all of that stuff. But yeah, before this video is too long, which I'm pretty sure it's already too long, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you feel inspired, really inspired. And thank you to CBA Loop for partnering up with me on this video. Bye guys.